Can a single man change the map of the world? Can one man's revenge lay the foundation of an empire? Today, we uncover the story of a mind so powerful that history has never seen its equal. This is the story of Acharya Chanakya, from his mysterious birth to his struggles in Takshashila, his terrifying oath against Dhanananda, the discovery of Chandragupta, and finally his mysterious death. Prepare yourself to witness a truth buried in history for centuries. Travel back 2,300 years to the land of Magadha in present-day Bihar. It was a time of chaos, a land divided by small kingdoms, filled with conflict, betrayal, and instability. In a small village, a child was born into a Brahmin family. His father's name was Chanakya, and so the child was named Chanakya. But something about his birth shocked everyone. The newborn had 2 fully grown teeth. When astrologers saw this, fear spread across their faces. They declared that this child was destined to become a Chakravarti emperor, a ruler of the entire world. But his father feared that power would corrupt him. He asked if this destiny could be changed. The answer was chilling. If the child's teeth were broken, he would never become a king, but he would become a kingmaker. With a heavy heart, the father broke his own son's teeth. As Chanakya grew up, his life was not filled with joy, but with humiliation. He was not considered handsome. Thin, dark, and different from others, he was constantly mocked. Children laughed at him. Society rejected him. But Chanakya never reacted with anger. He remained calm. He understood something very early in life. Beauty lies not in appearance, but in intelligence. His mind was extraordinary, lessons that others struggled with for weeks. He memorized in a single hearing. He decided that knowledge would become his greatest weapon. At that time, Magadha had become a center of luxury and corruption, not learning. Chanakya knew that if he wanted to achieve something great, he had to leave. So one day, without telling anyone, he left his home, barefoot, without money, alone. He walked thousands of miles through forests, surviving hunger, sleeping under trees, until he reached Takshashila, the greatest center of knowledge in the ancient world. But when he arrived, he was stopped at the gates. His appearance made people doubt him. So Chanakya did something no one had ever dared. He challenged the head scholar to a debate. In that historic moment, a young boy stood before the greatest minds of the time and defeated them. His knowledge of scriptures, politics, and logic stunned everyone. The head scholar himself stood up and welcomed him. Chanakya had entered Takshashila. He devoted himself completely to learning. He studied not just religion, but politics, economics, and strategy, secrets that few understood. But then, one day, a devastating message arrived. His father had been humiliated and destroyed by King Dhanananda. Chanakya rushed back, but it was too late. Seeing his father broken, insulted, and powerless, something inside Chanakya changed forever. The calm Brahmin was gone. A revolutionary was born. He swore that he would destroy Dhanananda and his empire. Chanakya returned to Takshashila, but he was no longer just a student. His eyes now burned with purpose. Around the same time, another danger was rising. Alexander was marching toward India. While Indian kings fought among themselves, Chanakya saw the bigger threat. He knew India needed unity, a powerful empire. So he decided to confront Dhanananda. When Chanakya entered the royal court, he tried to warn the king about the coming invasion. But Dhanananda, blinded by arrogance, insulted him. He ordered his soldiers to drag Chanakya out of the court. As he was thrown out, his sacred hair knot came undone. That moment changed history. Chanakya stood up, his eyes filled with fire, and declared, "I will not tie this knot again until I destroy your entire dynasty." He walked away, not as a victim, but as a man with a mission. With no army and no wealth, Chanakya turned to the forests. One day, he saw a group of children playing. Among them was a boy, different from the rest, fearless, commanding. When hunters tried to scare them, the boy stood his ground and said, "No one is allowed to create fear in my kingdom." Chanakya knew instantly this was the one. The boy's name was Chandragupta. Chanakya took him under his guidance and trained him, not just in warfare, but in strategy, intelligence, and leadership. Meanwhile, Alexander was nearing India. Chanakya knew direct battle would fail, so he chose a different path: psychological warfare. He spread fear among the Greek soldiers, rumors that India was cursed, that its gods would punish invaders. He secretly poisoned their food and water, slowly weakening them. At night, strange sounds and illusions created terror. Even the strongest soldiers began to lose courage. When they heard about the massive armies waiting ahead, they refused to move forward. In 326 BCE, Alexander turned back. A war had been won, without a single battle. Chanakya then focused on defeating Dhanananda. At first, he made a mistake. He attacked the capital too early and was defeated. He and Chandragupta barely escaped with their lives. One day, while hiding, he heard a woman scolding her child for eating hot food from the center. She said, "Start from the edges." Chanakya realized his mistake. This time, he built power slowly. He gathered allies, rebels, and enemies of Dhanananda. He used spies, created divisions, and weakened the empire from within, step by step. Magadha began to fall. Finally, the capital was surrounded. Inside, there was starvation, fear, and chaos. One night, the gates opened. Chandragupta's army stormed in. Dhanananda was defeated. Chanakya tied his hair knot again. His oath was fulfilled, but his mission was not over. He helped Chandragupta build a powerful empire. Even former enemies were turned into allies. When Seleucus attacked, Chandragupta defeated him. But instead of killing him, Chanakya formed an alliance. Through diplomacy and strategy, territories were gained without further war. The Mauryan Empire had risen, but Chanakya's methods were not always gentle. To protect Chandragupta from poisoning, he slowly built his immunity by adding small amounts of poison to his food. One day, Queen Dodhara unknowingly consumed it and died. Chanakya made a brutal decision to save her unborn child. That child became Bindusara. Years later, misunderstandings broke the bond between Chanakya and Bindusara. Accused and disrespected, Chanakya left everything behind. He chose to die in silence. But even in death, his intelligence remained unmatched. He exposed his enemies through one final plan. Chanakya's body turned to ashes, but his legacy did not. Before his death, he predicted the rise of a future ruler, Ashoka. Through his teachings in Arthashastra and Chanakya Niti, he left behind knowledge that the world still studies today. He proved that victory is not won by strength alone, but by intelligence. Chanakya proved that your appearance, your poverty, or your past does not define your future. Your intelligence and your determination do. One man changed the course of history. If you found this story powerful, support us with a subscribe, share this story, and stay connected for more.